Hello and welcome to Metal Gear Explain. This is Bad Gamer or Metal Gear Explain, and today's a special day, special video that we haven't done something like this yet. And it's fun because it's going to be a guest who's actually been on the channel as a voice actor. And I'm excited to kind of just chat with him in general. But today we're going to talk about his hands-on at the New York City pop-up that happened, and I am going to introduce who he is and show you guys what he's doing. What's up, Leo? How we doing?
What's up? What's up? Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Can you just give us your full name so I can say it right the whole podcast, and then also what you do?
Like my government name, like my first name?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Leandro. I am Latino. If any of you guys are Latino, you would say it like Leandro.
Andro. Got it. Got it.
But people call me Leo.
So
Yeah.
Leo. Got you. So guys, we're gonna check his profile out. Before we talk about the hands-on, we're gonna get into that. I did want to kind of just showcase his work. Very amazing stuff. And just discuss some of this with him directly as we do that before we get into Metal Gear. He's a big time fan like me. He helped do the Solid Snake voice and intros for some of my videos that you guys have seen. And this is his profile. So you've been busy, Leo. You're a voice actor. You have done theater work. You've done games, interactive things, commercials, and more. We're looking through the website right now. What would you point out as maybe your most recent or something you really enjoyed that people should probably check out from your work?
Yeah, so I believe the coolest things I've done so far was Dislight. Dislight's a pretty cool game. It's a gotcha game basically where you get to like pull for characters. You could play it on Steam, you could play it on mobile. And I played a character named Jinchu, and he's basically like a prison warden. And yeah, he's like a big white tiger and stuff. And it's
Nice.
cool because I got to be in that game with some of my close friends in the industry too.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we're looking at a little bit of the highlights of that game as well as you talk. And then going into the profile, man, you've done theater, and honestly, you know, you're a handsome guy. I see you in the movies and films and TV shows. I think that would be a cool if you did that as well. Just my personal opinion right here. But
Thank you.
yeah, we're looking at the profile, we're looking at all of that, and I think you've been very busy in the past couple years. I don't know how many years ago was it when we got together and we did the Solid Snake thing 3, 4, 5 years ago. What was that?
Probably, yeah. I think that's a good time frame.
Yeah, people didn't know that it wasn't David Hayter. People were
Oh,
hitting me up and saying, "Hey, how did you get David Hayter on there?" I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mislead you. It's a voice
mhm.
actor that I hired." I'm like, he's amazing. He's, in my personal opinion, the future David Hayter of the series. I would have Konami, which they do watch this stuff. So if you're watching, go ahead and hire this guy. He's already been working very hard in the industry, doing a great job. So just want to point that out there. Or we'll check your Metal Gear stuff out later in another time.
Mhm.
But anyways, enough about you. But great work, man. I can't wait to see what you develop and continue to grow and evolve, man. Exciting. Now,
Thank you.
we're
Thank
gonna
you.
talk about this hands-on. I'm gonna showcase some footage and we can get into kind of the discussion. First thing, actually, before we show the footage, I wanted to show you guys his picture. He only got one. Come on, man. But he
Yeah, I
was
mean,
there.
so I took a bunch actually, but I didn't
Oh,
post
did you?
all of them because I didn't want to spoil too much.
Yeah,
Or I
yeah.
didn't know what I could and could not post.
True.
So yeah, I was just trying to keep it a little, chill on that end.
That was a dope picture though. It was like very thematic. It wasn't like one of those like, "Hey, look at me." It was like, "Let me make this look visually pleasing." And you're standing next to the boss. We're looking at it right now. Pretty sick. That event must have been crazy. If you could just walk me through your experience as a longtime fan of the series.
Oh my God. I'm glad you asked this question. Like, this is what started this whole thing for me. Like, this is what started me becoming a voice actor and just wanting to be in video games.
Nice.
And yeah, so the boss is actually my favorite female character, like in a game. Like, all time. Um, so and Lori Allen was actually there. She's the voice of the boss.
No,
She was
dude.
there. She was there the day before. I wasn't there. David Hayter was there the day before. I came the second day.
Yeah.
But
Oh, dude, I wish I was
yeah.
there. Oh, man.
Yeah, oh my god, no, it was cool. So my origins with the game, when I was 8 years old, I'm 25 now. The PS3 had come out. This was 2008. I was born in 2000. So that's when the PS3 came out with the exclusive Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots attached to it. So that was my first introduction to me playing Metal Gear Solid, which is kind of crazy because it's like the ending basically of like the chronological like game order until Rising Revengeance comes out. But yeah, so that's how it started, and I had to kind of play them backwards over the times that I've gotten older because I'm like, oh wait, I have to play 3. Funny story, when my brother got 3, it was 2004 I think when the game came out, or later on, I'm not too sure, but he did not let me touch the game. Like, he didn't want me to even sniff it, look at it, think about it, because I always used to just mess things up. And that just lets you know how amazing the franchise is, because my brother literally told me, do not touch this. Like, no. So that was one of my introductions too. With the Master Collection that came out, I was able to finally play Metal Gear Solid 1. Never played it before. I did play 2 and 3 before on like PlayStation, I think Plus, some streaming stuff like that, but yeah.
Gotcha. But how was the event? He didn't answer the question. I like the
I'm so
history.
sorry.
I like the history.
So
But now we know your
the
backstory.
event-
Got the
Yes,
backstory.
yes. So the event was really cool. Basically it was, I think, like right on 37th Street, between 7th and 8th Avenue, New York. And so I looked to my right, and I see the entire decorations of everything, Metal Gear Solid Delta. And I get my wristband, I go in, I meet the artist. So this is the artist who made this poster right here.
Yeah, it was amazing. That poster is amazing. Definitely love that thing.
Yeah. So you have, the entire Cobra unit here. You have Snake himself. You have the boss. Every character. Eva, Ocelot,
Yep.
and Volgan. So I really love that art. It has like kind of like the piss filter, but I love it though. The artist, his name was Jake, and I bought it. I needed it. So after that, I went into that room where you actually do see the white flowers, and you do see the boss and Naked Snake, and it feels so cinematic when you're in there. You kind of feel like you're in the scene with them. I spent a good amount of time in there just as a fan, going crazy. Took pictures, and then they led me to the bottom floor, which is actually where you get to play the game. So I go in there with my friend, and I'm like, oh shit, like everything's kind of taken. Like all the tables are taken. They tell me that the Xbox side is this way. I'm a PlayStation guy. They told me the PlayStation side is this way. We did see 2 open seats in front of us. We took it. And so I do have to say, with the gameplay aspect, I didn't get a huge taste, right? Because we only got 45 minutes in total to be in the place. So yeah, me and my friend, the majority of our gameplay was really the beginning, like the cutscene, the Halo jump, and basically the codec calls. But I did get to play some of the gameplay. I did not play on Legacy style. I played on the new style because I was just curious on what they're, trying to do and stuff.
Sure.
And I liked it. It was really cool. We got the backpack, and then, I was able to get to where, you see the crocodiles and stuff in the mud. Yeah, so my thing is with that style, I'm used to Metal Gear Solid 4 where Snake is centered, in the middle. And then, yes, he can crouch and he can go prone. I'm used to that. So with the new style, Snake is kind of like on the left side of the screen, which is it was a little uncomfortable for me, but I could always change that with the settings that they have. But the gameplay was really nice. Oh my god, the physics when you get into the mud, you get like so dirty. The sound effects were great. I got to use the tranquilizer gun on the crocodile. Yeah, man, like it was just beautiful. Another thing I have to say, like the differences, besides the obvious beautiful graphics that they have, like I'm gonna be honest, I can't even believe I was playing that game. It doesn't even feel real that I'm playing that game. It was something that me and my family were looking forward to for more than a decade for that game to be remade. And so the differences as well, besides the awesome gameplay, it's like a mixture of Metal Gear Solid 5, 4, and like 3, like, but more like 5 and 4 for me. But in the codec calls, I think the voice actors did record new lines. I think they did record new lines.
No, I can confirm that. They recorded tutorial guides, some extra things, additions, since it's a modern game. They changed a lot. They had to adjust some of the game for that. It's confirmed already, publicly, said by Konami. So not freaking any.
Yeah, because I remember playing the original, and I don't remember some of those lines being in there. But you know what? It doesn't take away from it. It actually adds so much more. I don't want to like spoil too much about what they say, but all I can say is that you get a sense more of how personal a relationship Naked Snake and the boss, his relationship is, with that codec.
Wait, they have different lines in that introduction? Do you remember the introduction? Because they did talk about that in the original.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it word for word in the original. I could be wrong,
Right. That's what I'm saying. You might forget exactly what they said. In the original, he was telling them, oh, we have a special relationship, and she's like a mother / lover / mentor. She means more to me than I can say. And he kind of expresses that, admiration for her in that way. So maybe you didn't remember that, or you're saying there's new.
I remember that, but I feel like they added more lines of dialogue that go even deeper. So in that codec call, Snake, not to spoil too much,
spoil it.
He's like,
it's a remake. It's not the real. It's okay.
Yeah. So in that codec call, you can tell Snake is still a little green. He's not like super experienced yet, and you can sense his need of guidance from her even more in the remake than you do in the original game.
I gotta see what that is. Now you just boiled up a whole new video, because I'm gonna make like 5 videos about that, because you're the first person to mention that. Talked to a couple people about it, but they haven't brought that part of it up. That's interesting. That would be a whole topic on its own. I wish you could just play back the first game real quick, and then go back into this and say, oh yeah, you know what, this is what I meant. Because I think once you play like the original again real quick, might be like, oh, I see now. I see the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in this one, he actually he doesn't know what it means to be a soldier.
Yeah.
That's actually
that's his first real mission. That was his first real mission. So.
That's a conversation that comes up in this remake as well. So I'm just saying this because I don't remember everything that they said in the original.
Right.
But the dialogue that I heard, it sounded new to me.
Okay. So, first of all, I think I was mind blown just from watching, because I started thinking, I know remakes are whatever. And then when I see the visuals, I'm like, this is going to feel so different. Like I can't picture myself playing this game with these graphics, with this new mechanics. And I'm like, it's been blowing my mind just thinking about that. So what you're saying with the cutscenes, I think it could make sense too, where it's just so different now with visuals, and the sound quality is different, and you can probably hear more emotions out of them cleaning up the audio and all that stuff. We'll see. I mean, now you just created a whole speculation. By the way, the internet's gonna go wild. But Hey, anybody in my comments, take a guess on what he's talking about. Maybe there is some stuff, and if you played it as well, hit me up. You know what it is. All right, so now I want to ask you technical questions. It might be very hard for you to answer. I'm a nerd like that. This is a series that I love, but when you put the controls in your hand, if you had to give me which game did it feel like the most, and if you can remember the button scheme, nobody can so far, so no pressure. But if you tell me the button schemes on reload, crouch, circle, I believe. I know a couple because they try to guess and people have told me different answers, but after like 10 people, kind of got a little bit of a feel. But go ahead and give me your thoughts.
So the controllers, so with L2 on PlayStation, you can aim, R2 you can shoot. You move with the left joystick on. So one thing about the old Metal Gear games that I always liked is that when you double tap X, you can roll forward. I tried to do that in this game. That didn't really happen for me. I was trying to figure it out because I was on a time crunch. They were like telling us to leave. I was like, dude, I can't roll forward when I double tap X. What's going on? So that's something I got to figure out. Maybe it's the new style. Maybe I got to go back to the legacy style because I never tried that one. I should have low key kind of just skipped the cutscenes and got straight to the gameplay, but I don't know. I just needed to see it.
I heard you. I heard you.
But circle, yeah, you could crouch and you could go prone with circle.
Yeah. Got you. And it feels more like you mentioned a little bit like the Phantom Pain, Ground Zeroes, or Part 4 or 3. Which one would you put it in?
So in the Phantom Pain, you can sprint. In Delta, it's a sneaking mission. You can't sprint. I would say it feels a bit more like 4 in that aspect since you can't sprint, but it does feel like a mixture of 4 and 5.
Okay. Yeah, people were worried that it was gonna run. He was gonna run as fast as Part 5. If you remember in the Phantom Pain, you're like turbo speed running, and people didn't want that. I didn't want that because Part 3 is more tactical and it's slow pace and it's like a small map. It's not an open world. So in that regard, you feel that type of gameplay, like he's not running too crazy fast. He's slow pace on everything.
People have to think about the narrative, the story. The story is he's an American soldier that he can't be seen in this region. If he's seen, this is gonna cause an entire uproar between, these nations. So he has to actually be low key in this game.
True. All right, so now gameplay wise, this is one thing I would have spent my whole time doing is testing the AI. Did you come across any AI enemies, and did you fight them or sneak past them or try any mechanics or anything like that? Sounds like you didn't get a chance. You only got to the crocodiles.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to do any CQC. I didn't get to do any of that stuff. I was kind of bummed out by that because I thought I would have a little more time, at least like 15 more minutes. But no, I didn't get to do that, unfortunately. But from the clips I've seen, I had no doubt that the CQC is going to be cool and all that. I did get to see the costumes and the masks that they have. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and how does that feel as far as going through the loading screens? This is one of the weirdest things that people were kind of nitpicking. I personally am like, hey, they want to stay true to the original, so they're giving you that quick cinematic. Even though you got on next gen, you could probably just load up fast. They give you that moment of like, hey, we're going to the next area. Here's a loading screen, kind of old school style. What were your feelings on that?
Yeah, well, yeah, like when you're traversing through the jungle, right? Like it kind of, you see like the name and then you kind of, it like fades to black. Yeah, I didn't really feel that in this one. I think it transitioned pretty smoothly.
Pretty
But
fast.
again, I didn't.
Under a second, right?
Yeah, yes, but then again, I didn't really get to move too much,
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I was really at the section where you get the bag and then you just go to the crocodiles on the mud.
Yeah. I remember that. I played that 1,000 times. But all right, so last question, since it's only so much. As far as like the conversation that I've been having in my community is it worth making a remake or should they have never bothered since it's a masterpiece in my opinion, the original.
Hmm.
Should they never have made a remake because there's already have a masterpiece in the game? And if after playing and after seeing the cutscenes and having the controls in your hand, what are your initial thoughts on that?
They should definitely have made a remake. I like the original, but the old style of Metal Gear for me was never the most smooth. I feel like it was kind of clunky at times when I'm trying to shoot, when I'm trying to, go prone or sneak past. Like, for the longest time, you couldn't even crouch walk.
Yeah.
And Metal Gear Solid 4 is actually when they started introducing that, like crouch walking, and then in 5. And I would think for a sneaking game, crouch walking would be very useful. But instead, back in the day, you would just go prone and kind of do that until you got in back of someone. So I think it was worth the remake. The visuals look so beautiful, and the thing is, the gameplay is gonna get better. Like, every aspect of it is gonna get better. The graphics, the freaking gameplay, and the story is always gonna be great. The narrative, that's one of the best narratives I've ever played in my
Definitely.
life. So it can introduce people to it in a new and modern way. My friend that was playing with me, she was so interested in the game. She's never played a Metal Gear game in her life,
Yeah.
but in those quick cutscenes in the codec call, she was hooked. She already got into it, like, wow, I want to know more about their psychology, about their ideas and ideals and all that, and beliefs.
Right.
Yeah, so of course this game should have been remade. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
This game should have always gotten a remake.
I got you. Hey, I agree. I actually think I argue that it's the greatest game ever. And you can argue with whatever other games people love. Like, I'll put it up against it easily in the finals of who's the best game ever. And I definitely agree with you on that and so on. But now, before we go, one more time, I want to talk about you for a second and just get into quick discussion about your passion with this career that you're building. You already have an established workflow and you have the resume that we've been looking at, and now going into the future, for example, personally, I would want you in the Metal Gear series, the next David Hayter, better than David Hayter. David Hayter, I love you, by the way, if you watch this. But the next one, we got to have another person take over the reins of this series at some point. And for me, that's what I'm looking at you as. But you could just share your current passion and goals and career mindset right now and for the future before we get on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, actors like David Hayter and Quentin Flynn, who plays Raiden, they shaped my career, honestly. They inspired me so much. I would never want to take his job though, at all. If David Hayter could play Snake forever, awesome,
You're his son. You're his biological son.
maybe.
Exactly.
But, no, yeah. So what I want to do in my career, one of my biggest dreams is working with Square Enix, being in Final Fantasy, perhaps maybe a Kingdom Hearts game one day. Yeah, I'm very influenced by Japanese culture and media, so animation, things like that. Those are the things I want to work in.
Love it. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time and your energy. Hope everybody enjoyed this quick conversation about Metal Gear. As we go forward, going to be discussing more of this. Shout out to Leo again for his time and his energy. Thanks so much. And shout out to everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment if you want more. We're going to keep on covering the Metal Gear series as we go. See y'all soon. Peace.